All right, you can begin.
Okay, welcome to our me and Lydia's chapter on the leadership and experience, chapter 15.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I am Lydia Haynes and I will be starting off the presentation. So, let's talk about chapter 15. This chapter begins with the mention of the compact fluorescent bulb, a tech that has been around for more than 20 years. At the time, it was promised to be environmentally beneficial and save a huge amount of energy. But due to consumers being attached to old habits, it struggled to gain acceptance. This is a prime example that shows us that although innovation offers opportunity, some people are deeply stuck in their ways, even when the need is critical. The resistance to change is a powerful force, as shown in studies where coronary bypass patients struggle to embrace healthier lifestyles. So, how can leaders successfully drive necessary change? We'll find out as we go along in this chapter. Next slide, please. So, first, we have change or perish. In today's world, change is happening at a fleeting pace. Organizations resisting change do so at the risk of being made obsolete. A primary solution to the problem is better to change leadership. The main role models for change are leaders. They have the power to keep change efforts moving forward through their motivation and communication. Next slide, please. So Barbara Whoa Hewlett Packard. She is a good example of a leader. Even from a small position in HB Labs, Barbara firmly promotes change. She envisioned HB as the world's best industrial research lab and prepared people to work towards it. Wall confronted executives and was a and it was a reality check for leadership to remain tied to everyday expectations. Her style displays that change leaders need courage and communication. So from this example, we can take away that she is proof that change can be unfolded from any level in an organization. If leaders' visions are properly communicated and they include others in the journey, it will be successful. Next slide, please. Here we have a real life example. This was the digital demise of Blockbusters for failing to adapt. Blockbuster was founded in 1985 and quickly became a household name in the video rental industry. In the early 2000s, online streaming services started to gain attention, and the company had the opportunity to welcome the digital revolution. An, an acquisition deal was proposed for 50 million by Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix. The executives failed to see the vision of the online model by the up-and-coming DVD mail service Netflix at the time. This has proven to be their biggest mistake because Netflix is now one of the biggest streaming services. This goes to show how organizations must stay observant and understand how important it is to meet customer demands. Next slide, please. So I'd like to ask you guys, what known company today do you think might need to change in the next decade to stay relevant and why? You can type in a chat or unmute your mic if you like.
I um
Hi.
I would say Rituals needs to probably do some sort of updating of their brand because now they have Starbucks to compete with, and the business model of Starbucks is one where they're very friendly and their brand itself is very consistent, and Rituals, depending on which one you go to, does not have that consistency, but even though their product might be superior. So I think it's something that, given time, they might end up losing the competition.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyone else? Okay, no. Next slide, please. So, leading a major change. Large scale change is an influential and multi phase process. Here, development of coalition, formulation of vision, and sustaining the commitment are prioritized. There is an 8 stage model of planned stages. Any errors or any skipping of these stages can result in a failed change process. Next slide, please. First stage, leaders establish a sense of urgency. This is where you'd outline why change is necessary now regarding data relative to threats or opportunities. Leaders are to precisely communicate the demands of the market, opposition, or customer expectations that increase urgency and hence motivation. Secondly, this one involves establishing a coalition. Gather influential people who have the power to accomplish change. The people that make up various departments are to build part of a team and be invested with the needed power and reputation to influence the implementation of the change. Then this stage requires developing a vision and strategy. You'd compose a clear vision that conducts the direction of change and procedures indicating how to achieve it. The vision should be comprehensible in simple terms so that it is understandable to everyone and drives inspiration to the change intended. The fourth stage is communicate the vision and strategy. The vision must be taken to all ranks within the organization to emphasize the importance. Several channels may be used for meetings, team discussions, newspapers, and continuously repeated. The fifth stage is empowering employees throughout the organization to act on the vision. With the help of resources and removing problems, employees can act on the vision of change, take down systematic barriers, strengthen mandatory skills, and encourage new solutions from the team members. The sixth stage, generate short term wins. Achieve small wins, but in a striking and well recognized manner to create momentum. while sustaining high motivation, recognize contributing employees, and establish validating milestones. The seventh stage, keeping up the urgency. This is where you'd give credit for short term achievements to more challenging changes. To carry on the momentum with the vision, keep the process analyzed and constantly striving for improvement. The last stage is making the changes stick. This is where you create stability with the change by putting new behaviors into the corporate culture. Appreciate and reward people for displaying the ways and hire and train people to support the change. Here we have Martin Luther King Jr. Next slide, please. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a major help in leading the civil rights movement in America at a time when the simplest human rights were not so simple for all. He is highly respected and admired. He used his human centered leadership style to inspire others and create generational change. The mindset of equity that he worked with has led leaders to carry on with lessons from him that we can still rely on today.
Okay, yeah, this is where you have to play the speech.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
Okay, now that was it for the speech. As we all know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great leader to many. He inspired so many people. So now I'd like to ask you guys, what is it from the speech that could have inspired so many people, or what inspired you? Is there any leadership style that you can identify from the speech? Anyone willing to answer? No one? Okay. Well, I would say he used his heart. He spoke. He got to the people using his heart. So that is why they say He was a human-centered leader. So next slide, please. Leading everyday change. Leaders can push small, agreeing changes that enhance organizational culture. Not all change has to be big or dramatic. There are everyday impactful strategies that leaders can learn to spread throughout their everyday conversations. The strategies are creative self expression. It grants employees the chance to dish out their ideas onto the table. These leaders permit employees to be more devoted to their work and be compliant to partake in gradual change. It builds an innovative culture, and this is because the participants feel empowered, contributing to solutions rather than just taking orders. Using the right words. It simply means that there is a need for selective words to gather and guide efforts for change. Leaders should therefore communicate in a clear, positive, encouraged way to assist others in being motivated. Right opportunities. Seizing the right opportunities refers to discovering the most optimal timing. When change can be affected, teams are more responsive to minor successes or natural openings, such as transitions, which leaders could stay alert for. Since employees feel as though changes are in response to legitimate needs, timely change efforts normally receive less opposition and a substantial amount of acceptance. Alliance building. An alliance is a supportive system in the organization that helps to withstand change, to make the path easier for innovation. Leaders that tend to build relationships with prominent employees or managers. Leading for innovation. What must one do to survive in the 21st century? The top answer is practice, creativity, and innovation. The first topic is the creative organization. An ideal creative organization considers self organizing structure, willingness to learn, and the possibility to communicate with many people crucial. They go the extra mile and provide the structure that supports innovation and creativity. Alignment. Alignment deals with channeling all the creative activities to the goals or vision of the organization. This way, the organization does not lose sight of what it stands for and order is still in place. Creative values. Organization, Organizational creativity can be thought of as utilizing goals, while creative assets can be defined as the people, ideas, and attitudes needed to stimulate innovation and entrepreneurial thinking. Another specific type of creative asset is creative values, the set of norms that define the freedom to create, foster creativity, share knowledge and ideas. Unofficial activity. Activities where creative communications are encouraged and insinuating ideas that can be expressed outside business-like, highly formalized, structured communication. Diverse stimuli. Diversity in ideas, experiences, and ideas proven creativity. This can be activities outside the workplace that enhance new skills, something like attending workshops. Internal communication. This is having access to organizational internal communication can promote the generation of ideas, leading to an increase of innovation. Leading creative people. Overseeing creative people is a task that requires one to be careful since you must trust their process, encourage them, and be sensitive to their needs. Brainstorming, a formal procedure for creating ideas during which criticism is not allowed. It should be a free space to dish out any idea that comes to mind. Lateral thinking, the concept that is implemented considering problem solving from new and different perspectives. Next is creative intuition, applying the built-in ability that allows an individual to make innovative decisions based on one's experience. So, an example of an innovative leader is Kun Hee Lee from Samsung Electronics. I'm gonna tell you a bit about him so you get to know how he innovated others. So Kun Hee Lee changed Samsung from an image of an organization that was a low-cost producer to one that aimed at innovation. On innovation, he focused on creativity by creating workspaces such as the Innovative Design Space, IDS, where students from different disciplines can work on innovative ideas. The elements that define Samsung's designs capability under Lee's leadership involved creating and sustaining a culture of innovation and encouraging cross-organizational understanding and cooperation that position Samsung as the market leader in consumer electronics accessories whilst racking up numerous design accolades. So we can say Lee shows us how it's possible, how leaders apply structures and flows that create space for innovation and to develop ideas that that'll alter the strategic DNA of an organization. Next slide, please. Manage implementing change. Management has always viewed change as healthy for development and creativity. However, employees tend to disagree with the changes because it can interfere with their already established working patterns, and from time to time, it can threaten one's position. These issues are somewhat valid, so people are expected to resist, and managers should be mindful of the people's constant opposite response. Tools for implementation. There are many techniques to diminish the ways of overcoming resistance to change that may be used by leaders. Some essential methods include communication and training, participation and involvement. Even reaching people on an emotional level have proven to be an effective method. Leaders' self insight. How innovative are you? Innovativeness reflects an awareness of the need to innovate and a positive attitude toward change. Innovativeness Innovativeness is also thought of as the degree to which a person adapts innovations earlier than other people in the peer group. Innovativeness is a positive thing for leaders today because individuals and organizations are faced with a constant need to change. Are you a change leader? Change leaders champion, can champion large planned change projects. They often begin by taking charge of change in their workplace area of responsibility. To what extent do you take charge of change in your work or personal life? The heart of change. How do people change? Change comes easier, the authors argue, when people see potent reasons for change that touch their emotions rather than being presented with rational analysis that attempts to change their thinking. According to John Cotter in his book Leading Change, there are 8 steps to change within an organization. Step 1. Create urgency. Step 2. Form a powerful coalition. Step 3. Create a vision for change. Step 4. Communicate the vision. Step 5. Remove obstacles. Step 6. Create short-term wins. Step 7. Build on the change. And step 8. Anchor the changes in corporate culture. And now pass you on to my colleague for the conclusion. Jabari?
Uh, 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 okay. Conclusion. This chapter addresses change and change within an organization. Change that shows us that although innovation offers opportunities, some people are deeply stuck within their ways even when the need is critical. The resistance to change is a powerful force as shown in the studies where coronary bypass patients struggle to embrace healthier lifestyles. From leaders who inspired change such as Martin Luther King, Barbara Way, Paul Weggers, and Con Healy, this chapter really questions the reader on whether they themselves are leaders and are they open to change within leadership and change within the organization and life. So yeah, these are the citations here.
Okay, guys, that will be it for me and Jabari's presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys were informed well on chapter 15.